Butte's about to see the plan on how they're going to green up Silverbow Creek after the cleanup.
We are just hours away from South Carolina's Democratic primary. I'm Elise Preston with a look at how presidential hopefuls are trying to gain support there and around the nation on Super Tuesday.
Just ahead of 6:30 on this Friday, Chet Lehman, Caitlin Corbett, Matt Elwell working through
Friday
the end
already?
of February. Get an extra day tomorrow, leap day tomorrow for...
Look at all the things we're going to get done.
Just that. Exactly.
So much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not even
I'm
going
not
to
doing
my list.
anything.
I'm not even going to my
I'm
list.
not doing anything at all.
Yeah. Hey, early morning temperatures not bad. If you want to get outside, today's the day to do it. It's going to be beautiful all afternoon. Temperatures into the teens, 6 below in West Yellowstone. That's a little problematic to just get outside and play, but yeah, we know our friends in West Yellowstone still do it. They do it every single day. Temperatures by the afternoon should be pleasant, back into the 40s. You see the clear skies, just a few clouds. It's going to make for a beautiful sunrise. Go outside, snap a photo, send it to us. We would love to see it. Put it on Facebook, whatever you need. But it's going to be a beautiful start to the day. Temperatures back into the 40s. We do have some changes in store, including some snow on Sunday or Saturday into Sunday. We'll break it all down for you coming up in just a couple of minutes.
All right, Matt, thank you very much for that. 6:30 now, our top local story this half hour. It has been a long time coming, but Billings-based Architect has unveiled the plan that will turn the Superfund site along Silverbow Creek into a greenway, featuring parks, fishing ponds, and all kinds of other amenities.
MTN's John Amy has our report.
Butte now has the final design to make the Silverbow Creek corridor a beautiful green space once the Superfund cleanup outlined in the consent decree is done.
Such a unique opportunity to have 120 acres of green space right in the core of a community like this. And so the tack that we've taken is the approach has been to develop this to really maximize the benefit to the community.
The space will include 8 miles of walking trails, parks, and even an amphitheater. The design was a 3-year project, which included input from Butte residents during a series of workshops.
People rolled their sleeves up and told us what they wanted to see, and this is the result of that effort. And it was very direct, the response that we got in those meetings. The meetings were passionate, we got a lot of good feedback.
This plan is done to find an aesthetic way of combining the remedy with the land use. You've got the stormwater basins here, surrounded by green space. There's a park here, even a fishing pond.
If everything goes really well with the consent decree process, we can start construction on some features in 2020, and you'll see us incrementally implement these in-land use features as we go through the project sites.
In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
And all of this work, of course, will depend on Butte's Council of Commissioners approving the consent decree within the coming weeks.
Staying in the mining city this morning, Butte police need the public's help to solve a cause of a suspicious fire. Now, that fire happened near GCR Tire off Harrison Avenue early Tuesday morning. Law enforcement hopes some people parked in the Civic Center parking lot may have information. They're asked to call Detective Chris Snyder. His number 406-497-1134.
And following up on a story we brought you yesterday, Bozeman police continue to investigate after they say a 4-man fight broke out in the parking lot of the Days Inn. Officers on scene told MTN News that a man started a fight with 3 others, and then that brawl spilled onto Oak Street. Officers say traffic then became backed up after they responded, causing a 3-car crash. A Forest Service agent who just happened to be nearby helped break up that fight. One man was found lying on the ground, and police say he was taken to the hospital. Investigators say the man hospitalized was the one who started the fight, and he could be facing charges.
It is now 6, almost 33. Back on the national scene, a packed day ahead for the Democratic Party hopefuls trying to win voters in South Carolina.
The state's primary is tomorrow. Elise Preston shows us what we can expect to see during today's final push before the polls.
Time is running out to gain support. The Palmetto State's primary is now just hours away. Senator Bernie Sanders leads in the polls nationally.
The establishment, in case you haven't noticed, they're getting very nervous.
But it's former Vice President Joe Biden who's expected to carry South Carolina. A new Monmouth poll shows he holds a double-digit lead and a huge endorsement from South Carolina Congressman Jim Clyburn. The majority of the party's candidates have a long list of scheduled events across the state today. Some candidates, though, are fanning out to other states in preparation for the crucial week ahead.
If you want somebody who has the resources to beat Trump That's me.
Billionaire former Mayor Michael Bloomberg is focusing his attention in Tennessee ahead of Super Tuesday. Senator Amy Klobuchar is working her way through the state of Virginia today, and Senator Elizabeth Warren spoke of rooting out white supremacy while in Texas.
We must recognize the threat among us, and we must be willing to call it out.
Former Mayor Pete Buttigieg will also be back on the campaign trail after having to cancel a handful of events in Florida because he contracted a cold. And no rest this weekend. The candidates will crisscross the country, hoping to drum up support from more than a dozen states and a third of the party's delegates up for grabs on a single day. Elise Preston, CBS News.
And Obama has no plans to endorse a candidate, but his attorneys are calling on South Carolina TV stations to stop airing a Republican super PAC ad that takes comments by the former president out of context to suggest criticism of Biden. President Trump, meantime, is also in South Carolina tonight for a Make America Great Again rally.
Back here in the Treasure State, specifically Gallatin County, the election department has received more than $120,000 through a federal grant for security upgrades to the elections here in the county. County election administrator says the money will go towards more secure election machinery, including ballot boxes and new technology. Election department says they have not had any issues with security in the past, but this is something they have to be proactive about considering the recent national election security issues.
There is a very real threat out there. There's active bad actors trying to affect the elections in the United States, and you know, so we do everything we can to you know, alleviate that threat. So this money will be going towards dealing with that here in Gallatin County.
By the way, that money was funded by the Help America Vote Act, which addresses systematic problems in elections nationwide.
The head of Butte's Parks and Recreation Department announced his candidacy for Butte Chief Executive Thursday morning. J.P. Gallagher, who has been director of the Parks and Recreation Department for the past 5 years, officially announced his candidacy yesterday at Stodden Park. Gallagher will be challenging incumbent Dave Palmer and Butte Commissioner Brendan McDonough.
People should consider me because I think I've got a record of success. I've, you know, in every one of my jobs in the past, I've worked with leadership and I've got things done.
And March 9th is the last day for candidates to file, and the primary election is June 2nd.
Other headlines this morning: beginning Monday, March 9th, Montana Department of Transportation kicking off phase 2 of the rehab work on the Yellowstone River Bridge in Gardner. First phase of the work focused on the southbound lane was completed in November. This time crews will be working on the northbound lane, milling and laying new concrete on the main bridge surface. There will be lane restrictions, delays of up to 15 minutes. That project expected to be wrapped up by June.
The road to Highlight Canyon, one of the most popular drives in Gallatin County, but those who work to keep it what it is say there are problems, including people camping where they shouldn't be. Now, lately, friends of the Highlight say they've found campfires left smoldering in the middle of parking lots, including the Chisholm lot near the upper reservoir. They also say they caught it on video, noting the fire was started using a pallet filled with nails. They say fires need to stay in fire rings, and there are certain rings that can fit pallets, but burning them in the open can leave nails laying on the concrete come springtime.
Just don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it.
6:37 now. Plastic bags are disappearing from store checkouts across the country as more communities impose bans.
And on Sunday, New York will become the latest state to get rid of them in hopes of reducing pollution. But as Nancy Chen reports, the move away from plastic has created a new problem.
Grocery shopping involves plenty of decisions, but at stores in New York, paper or plastic won't be one of them. Plastic bags are checking out Sunday when a statewide ban takes effect.
Anything that helps the environment is a good thing.
Avi Kaner and his family have owned the Manhattan-based chain Morton Williams for more than 50 years. He says shoppers will have to bring their own reusable bag, buy one like this for 99 cents, or the foldable cloth version for 20 cents. Under the new law, customers could also pay a nickel for a paper bag, but for Kaner, that's not really an option.
Paper bags with handles are not even available to purchase in the United States.
Stores across the country are having trouble stocking paper bags. There's been a sudden surge in orders as more communities dump plastic. 4 states have single-use plastic bag bans, while Maine, Vermont, Delaware, and Connecticut will join the list later this year or next. Several major cities also have rules limiting plastic bags in an effort to reduce pollution.
I'm so for it.
Yeah, 1000% for it.
We need to protect our planet, and we have too much plastic in the world. I grew up with paper bags, a kid from the 60s.
But industry experts believe paper bag shortages could continue for years.
What kind of transition as a retailer do you expect here?
Well, transitions are difficult, and generally people, customers, retailers don't like change.
Proponents of this change predict shoppers will adapt and make reusable bags a new habit. Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
New York officials say more than 23 billion plastic bags are used in the state every year.
That's just in New York. That's
yeah,
just
just in New York.
That's it. I here a little while ago broke down and bought some reusable bags that I brought. They're made from recycled bottles, plastic bottles. I love it. The thing I love about them better than anything, I can put more stuff in it, so I don't have to carry nearly as many bags.
And you don't have to worry about them breaking. Like, have you ever seen the pictures of like how many bags I can carry in at once, and they're all just strapped to your arms?
I lost a toenail because I dropped a can from one of those other bags. So no, I like the fact that I can haul more stuff in less bags, which makes it easier for me.
I have to shout out to my mom too, because she has always been a reusable bag person. She brings them all every time we go to the grocery store. She brings 5 in, and we get it all in there.
Good for her. I've seen more and more people doing it all the time too.
It's great. It's a good move.
It's good stuff. It is also 6:40 and time for us to take a quick break. When we come back, marijuana use on the rise for one segment of the population. You might be surprised to learn which group. But before that, let's head to New York, check in with CBS This Morning.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS This Morning, Wall Street is expected to have another volatile session today due to uncertainty over the coronavirus. New quarantines are in place after the first possible U.S. case with unknown origins. Dr. David Agus will be here with what you need to know to protect yourself. Also only on CBS This Morning, Gail sits down with juror number 9 from the landmark trial of Harvey Weinstein, what he says the jury chose to focus on. And we're stepping back in time with Academy Award winner Viola Davis. A look at her new exhibit, a virtual reality recreation of the 1963 March on Washington. We'll see you at 7.